News headlines. Iran launches military satellite into the space. Availability to test the corona at home. Scientists in UK began testing vaccines on humans this week. Iran advises to form inclusive government in Afghanistan. China is responsible for pandemic and virus spread to the world. The general election of campaign begins. Trump had a huge financial advantage over Biden. Iran launches military satellite into space amid US tensions. Iran has launched a military satellite into orbit in a move that is likely to heighten tensions with the US over the country's nuclear program. In a statement on its website, Iran's Revolutionary Guard said that the launch took place from the country's central desert and that the satellite had reached an orbit of 425 km above the Earth's surface. The satellite has been called Noor, meaning light, and the IRG used a gaseous satellite carrier to launch it into space, a system that was previously unknown, AP reported. The US State Department and the Pentagon did not immediately respond to a request for comment. But the launch comes amid tensions with Washington after the collapse of Iranian nuclear deal and after the US drone strike killed Guard General Qasem Soleimani in January. Mikhail Horvitz, head of intelligence at Olympic International, told that the launches was a significant breakthrough for Iran given failed attempts as recently as last February. Washington is likely to watch this development closely. Iran's space program is closely related to its missile and nuclear ones. If Iran is capable for launching having military satellites, it may be able to also mount nuclear warheads on intercontinental missiles. I think this sends a clear message and is part of Iran's effort to pressure both Washington and Europeans after US withdrawal from GCPOA. On Sunday, the Guard acknowledged it had a tense encounter with US warships in the Persian Gulf last week, but alleged without offering evidence that American forces sparked the incident. Test the corona at home. US health regulators on Tuesday okayed the first coronavirus test that allows people to collect their own sample at home, an AWA project could help expand testing options in most states. The test from LabCorp will eventually only be available to healthcare workers and first responders under a doctor's order. The sample will still have to be shipped for processing back to LabCorp, which operates diagnosed labs throughout the US. Allowing people to self-swab at home would help reduce infection risks for frontline healthcare workers and help conserve protective gear. For the home test, people are initially screened with an online quarantiner. If authorized by a physician, LabCorp will ship a testing kit to your home. The kit includes cotton swabs, a collection tube, an insulated pouch, and box to ship the specimen back to LabCorp. To take a sample cotton swab in Switzerland in each nostril, the test results are posted online to a secure company website. The company said it will make the test available in the upcoming weeks. Each kit will cost $119. The kits will not be available in Maryland, New Jersey, New York, and Rhode Island. Those states have law prohibiting testing with at-home kits. Scientists in the UK to begin testing vaccine on humans this week. The UK has announced it's ready to begin human trials for a potential vaccine for coronavirus, with tests beginning as early as this week. Health Minister Matt Hancock announced testing on humans would begin on Thursday and would join just a handful of other similar trials being carried out around the world. He said the drug, which has been named CH-ADOX-1 in COVID-19, has been developed by scientists at the University of Oxford and is reported to have an 80% success rate. It was created by using a chimpanzee virus before genetically engineering. It is carry COVID-19. Speaking at the press conference, Hong Kong said it's remained uncertain sign and in normal times. Reaching this stage would take years. He added, at the same time, he will invest in manufacturing capability so that if either of these vaccines safely works, then we can make it available for the British people as soon as humanly possible. Iran advises to form inclusive government in Afghanistan. In his meeting with the Afghan officials, Tehran Iranian Foreign Ministry's Special Assistant for Afghanistan Affairs discussed ways to find a settlement for political disagreements and form a broad-based and inclusive government in Afghanistan. He has held separate meetings with President Ashraf Ghani, former Chief Executive Officer for Afghanistan Abdullah Abdullah, Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs Mohammad Hanif Atmar, National Security Advisor Hamidullah Muhibbi, former President Hamid Karzai, and some other prominent Afghan officials. China is responsible for the pandemic and virus. Military Attorney General Eric Schmidt joined Tucker Carlson tonight, Tuesday, after his state became the first to file a lawsuit against China, accusing the Beijing government of being liable for the severity of the coronavirus pandemic and seeking damages to compensate for the enormous loss of life, human suffering, and economic turmoil resulting from the outbreak. China are responsible for this, and the responsibility first directly at their feet. Schmidt explained, I feel it is incumbent upon me as the state's chief legal officer to prosecute that case to China's government. It has become clear in recent weeks the deception and mispresentation, the concealment of the Chinese government, and the origins of vicious virus that has impacted the entire globe. Schmidt said, the fact is the Chinese government misrepresented that they were aware of the human-to-human contact and transmissions early. They punished and concealed evidence from whistleblowers, and the impact has been devastating. Those responsible for this worldwide pandemic holding them accountable. He retorted, we look forward to them answering their compliment. It has been very specific, the factual elections as far as the timeline and representation and also our legal claims, we feel very merited. The general election campaign begins. Trump has a huge financial advantage over Biden. With Vermont, Bernie Sanders' exit from the presidential race this month, Joe Biden is the Democratic prospective nominee, and the general election campaign has effectively begun, and the Trump campaign has a massive financial advantage over the Biden campaign. The Biden campaign announced it raised $46.7 million in March on Monday, marking its best fundraising month of the campaign so far, but failing with the Federal Election Commission showed that even with the momentum of having wrapped up the Democratic primary early, Biden and the Democratic National Committee trail far behind President Trump and the Republican National Committee when it comes to their campaign war chests. Trump has an advantage over Biden in that he is incumbent and the GOP has had over 3 years to plan for his re-election campaigns, whereas Biden has been prospective Democratic nominee for just a couple weeks. Trump and the RNC, for example, have a joint fundraising committee, something that has not yet been set up between Biden and the DNA, but it is expected to happen in the near future. Thanks for watching our video till the end. If you want to support us, don't forget to subscribe our channel. God bless.